Hi guys, let's learn what array is in C programming. Okay, so imagine you have two boxes, one box filled with chocolates and another box filled with sweets. They are same kind of sweets but of different types, right? So we are using different boxes for each specific types. We can imagine those boxes as arrays in C programming. So what is an array? Array is just homogeneous collection of elements in a sequence. For example, instead of chocolates, you can store integer numbers or float numbers or characters or strings. It just stores the same things. Okay, that's what an array is. And today we are learning how to create an array and how to display that. Now, we will use indexing for representing each position and elements. Basically, what we do is if we consider the collection of integers as 10, 20, 30, 40, while indexing, I will start from 0th position. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is called indexing. You are giving numbers to each position which start from 0. And while accessing the certain elements, you just use a of 0. I mean, it's your array name. You can also use arr, something, whichever you want. Okay. Now, while accessing these elements, you will use the indexes also. If you want to access this 10, then you will use a of 0. A of 0 basically indicates to this value which has been stored at the 0th position. Now let's see how we will create an array. While creating the array, we use for loop, and we will see why we use for loop soon. Okay, so now I'll just show you the function of creating the array. Void create, I have named the creation function as create. I'm not returning any values, so I have used void, and I'm not using any parameters also, that's why it's empty, or we can say void. Okay, I'm declaring I here. Why I'm declaring I as integer is in the for loop, while setting the conditions, I'm using I. That's why it is of integer type. I'm declaring I as integer. And after this, I have to display the message, right? Like enter the size, because we are just creating the array, we don't know the size yet. We have to manually input the size. Let's say that size is indicated by the alphabet n. Okay, now enter the size. And while inserting anything, we use ampersand operator. So I'll be using and I hope you don't forget to insert this colon. What is called semicolon? Yeah, semicolon at the end of particular statements. Now you have to insert the element. For that, you are just displaying the messages. Enter the elements. Okay, now let's just come to the part of for loop. Now I'll be setting the condition as for I equal to 0, I less than n, and I'll increment the I value inside the loop. What I have to do is insert. Yes, that's why I use scanf. So it will be %d and a of I. Okay, my function is over now. So what this for loop does, let's see. We don't have any array, guys. We just have empty space and we are just creating the array. Let's insert the size as n equal to 3. I have inserted the size. Now I have to enter the elements. Now we know that I have explained before, the indexing start from 0 to n minus 1th position. I mean, if you insert size as 3, then I will start from 0, 1, 2. Only till 2. Why? Because it doesn't cover nth position, guys. It will only cover second position because we are starting from 0, right? That's why it's always the last index will always be n minus 1. So while creating this array, I have to, you should know that when it starts from 0, it will end till n minus 1. But if it has started from 1th position itself, then it would have ended at the 3rd position, but we are starting from 0, that's why it's ending at 2nd position. Now while incrementing, I have set I is equal to 0. That means I'm inserting the element at the 1st position itself. So you insert some element like 10 here, and then what will happen is it will check whether I is less than n. That means now after inserting this element, my I is incremented to 1st position, right? Previously it was 0th position. So after inserting the element at the 0th position, it will increment the I value. So I becomes 1. Then it checks whether this is true. If it is true, then only you can insert the element. So we all know that 1 is less than 3. So it's true. Then you will insert the element as something 20. And what will happen next is again increment the I value. My I now becomes 2. Again check whether I is less than n. What is my I now? It is 2. 2 is less than n. Yes, because n is 3. It is true. So it will go inside the loop and then again insert the element. So I will insert the element as 30. Now after this it will increment again. I is 3 now, from 2 to 3. Okay, now again check this condition. I is less than n. Whether I is less than n, guys, carefully you have to do this. My I is 3 now, and also I have inserted the size as 3. 3 is less than 3, guys. No, right? 3 is equal to 3, so it will not be carried out. So you have successfully inserted all the elements to the size that you have specified. So it all depends on you how much size you will put into the program and how much what elements that you are inserting. Okay, so this is the function for creating the array. Now let's go into displaying of array. While displaying array, the only change that you will make is removing this ampersand operator, and instead of scanf you will use printf here. Okay, why? Because creating array requires the inputs, while displaying the array is just showing you the outputs. That's why we are using the printf statements here. And we all know that ampersand operator is used for insertion of elements, right? So we are not inserting anything, that's why we are just using a of I. You can ask why this condition holds good for displaying also. It's because after inserting, you can see my array is 10, 20 and 30. It started from 0th position, 1st position until 2nd position, right? So my I is how much? You can set the range. I equal to 0 to I less than n. I less than n. You don't have to insert this last element. Okay, you also can skip the last element because it doesn't need to be full always. So while displaying, what you will do is you set I less than n. You could also have set the condition as I less than n minus 1, but why we can't set the condition as n minus 1 is because it doesn't cover the last position. As you can see, n minus 1 is the 2nd position, right? If I set the I position as n minus 1, then this will be skipped. So even if I inserted all the elements to the full size, then I wouldn't be able to show my last element if the condition was like this. So instead of that, I will do I less than n. Start from I is starting from 0, then if it is less than n, that means if it is less than 3, then it will show till the 2nd position. So my last element is getting covered while displaying of elements. So I hope you know how the condition works. So that was it. Thank you, guys.